How do they get away with this shit, huh? These freaking studios. Apparently they didn't want Dave Chappelle. They laughed him out of the room. Now they want to play his content. He went in to pitch his idea for Dave Chappelle show to HBO and they laughed him out of the room. If it wasn't for Viacom, then the Dave Chappelle show would never have happened. And now HBO wants to play Dave Chappelle show. That's what sucks. They got the game rigged. The game is freaking rigged in their favor. Okay, they could pass on something and still make money off of it. And then Dave Chappelle signed the contract at Viacom and gave all his rights away. So the reason why he didn't want HBO to have it is because he wasn't making any money off of it. So apparently HBO has decided at the end of the year to stop playing the Chappelle show. I don't know what he said to them, but they finally agreed to take it off the air. Apparently also another network, I'm not sure if it was Netflix or I don't remember which network, but they're going to take it off. They're not going to show it anymore. But they shouldn't get away with this. It's such bullshit. I mean, they did the same thing to like Saved by the Bell. All those kids from Saved by the Bell, you know how popular that show was? And these kids aren't getting any residuals. Why? Because they make these contracts where they say, we own the whole thing. You don't get anything. You know, they know people are desperate. They know these actors are desperate. They know these comedians are desperate. They just want to get on the air. And they take advantage of that. They're like, yeah, let me put this in the contract where if it is a success, you don't get anything. So now, after all this time, the Chappelle show's playing, Saved by the Bell, one of the most popular kids shows of all time, you know, teen, junior high kids, you know, they're still showing to this day, and the actors are not seeing a dime. Dustin Diamond, Screech, Kelly Slater, Mark Galassier, they ain't seen anything. You know? They take advantage. And that should be freaking illegal. That should be illegal. They should not be able to make a contract where they're monetizing. I could have swore from way back in the day that's what they used to do to the actors. And a lot of the actors that were in these shows, super popular shows from way back in the day, never saw a dime of the residuals. So these guys get filthy rich off the backs of these actors. Now, obviously, there are some actors that make, you know, millions and millions per movie. I'm not talking about that. That's a whole nother subject for another day. I'm talking about these, you know, these actors who are like not big stars. They're not making millions of dollars. They're probably struggling to survive right now, and that's what happens to a lot of them. Those are the actors I'm talking about. Obviously, the million plus a year actors I'm not talking about. You know, Friends. Well, they got residuals, so they make about the same now than they did when they were actually acting, which is the way it should be. If the studios, the distribution companies, or whoever are making money off of the show, the actors should see some of that money. Plain and simple. Same with comedians, whatever. You know, the Chappelle show, he created that show. How can you just take advantage of him? You know, people are desperate. Desperation. They have all the leverage. They're like, well, if you want it on the air, well then you're gonna have to sign this contract. You know who did it right was Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry was like, he had his audience. He knew he was he did his comedy show in the South and he had a huge audience. So he didn't care if they wanted his movie or not. And it paid off because they gave him all the rights because they didn't think the movie was going to be successful. But now Tyler Perry owns his own studio, makes his own movies, all that kind of thing. That's the way it should be. These studios need to stop taking advantage of people. You know, music industry, the movie industry, the television industry. They take advantage of desperation. So be careful when you're signing a contract. You got to read the contract. Don't just sign it because you're so excited and you want to, oh my God, I got a part, I'm going to be in it, blah, blah, blah. What if it blows up? What if it gets big? What if it plays for 20 years? after you stop filming. Make sure. Don't be so desperate. Like, it's like car sales. You go to a car salesman, you're super desperate, then they take advantage of that. If you're willing to walk away, then they will work with you a little more. But if you're just so desperate and they can see and they're like, this guy, I could get him. He's like a fish on a hook. Don't be the fish on the hook. Don't do it. Because there are a lot of unscrupulous people out there who are willing to, especially in this industry. They're just waiting. They care more about money than people. Okay, if you have to walk away, then walk away. If you have the goods, then be willing to walk away. If it's like, you're never going to get anything ever again. You don't really have talent. You're just right for the part. Then maybe do it. But if you have the goods, if you are talented, funny, anything that can bring you money down the line without the studios or without these people who want to take all the rights, then it's probably better to just pass. Because people are going to watch you anyway. Like Tyler Perry, he already had his audience. He already knew he was going to be successful without the studios. So, that's the lesson. But, yeah, it's aggravating. It's annoying when you see these actors and these musicians and these talented comedians and people, and you just see them later on down the line, and they have nothing. They're just broke, and they get screwed over somehow. I don't know how, but Dave Chappelle got them to take the show off the air at the end of the year. I don't know how, but he did. I mean, maybe he's working right now behind the scenes to try to change the law, change it to where they can't do this. People care more about money than they do about people. That's the way it is. But, yeah, hopefully he's doing something, and people should do something. Because it's just not right. And they say that's what agents are for, right? That's what agents are for. Actors are usually really good people, so you have an agent who can also be unscrupulous and get what the actor, comedian, musician deserves. So I don't know what happened in the Dave Chappelle case. Maybe he didn't have an agent, but make sure you know what you're doing, because otherwise they're going to take you for all you're worth, chew you up, spit you out, and laugh all the way to the bank while you're looking in your pants pockets. Where'd all the money go? Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is bullshit, right? They shouldn't be able to do that. There's a lot of things in this world that people shouldn't be able to do, but they're allowed to do. And I'm fed up. I hope you are too.